Welcome to Virgo season and the dawn of the first day of Mercury retrograde. Hopefully, we don't have
Mm.
no fuck ups here on the Inner Circle podcast that you guys join us every Wednesday, every week to watch. I'm your host, Charlie, and my host, Melanie, my best friend. How are you guys? How are you, Melanie? What's going on?
I'm good. How are you?
I am. It's been a great week so far. I'm excited. I still feel like on a natural high from
hmm
the start from Monday to even into today. Um, can nobody, what is it?
Take
Take my
Can
pride.
nobody take my
Can
pride? Can
nobody
nobody hold me
hold
down?
me down? Because I'm feeling good. Oh, and here we go. I was going to make an announcement today about how Amazon might fuck up with our show.
Yeah.
But how was your weekend?
My weekend was good while Charlie's over there answering the doorbells to Amazon delivery men for his packages. Um my weekend was pretty much, I would say, uneventful compared to what Charlie has to say, cuz he has a very special surprise that just happened out of nowhere. I'm saying that you have a very
Yeah.
special surprise that you want to discuss that
Well,
happened out of nowhere.
not today's, not this solidifying, because we're gonna announce that too. But you're talking about
No, I'm talking
okay,
about your
so
weekend.
yeah, so weekend, my weekend was for the most part good, restful. Went out Friday night. Sunday I finally went to see Barbie.
I know.
I
Hallelujah.
finally went to
It,
see Barbie, but I'm not the only one. We did a poll on the Inner Circle page, and not a lot of other people
a lot of
have
people
gone
are
to see
waiting
it.
for it to stream,
Just
like
stream,
for it to
right?
come on demand, which is like, okay, I get it. But to be honest, the way that it's making blockbuster numbers, I don't
Yeah.
think we're gonna it's not gonna stream anytime soon. And also, where would it stream? Do you see it streaming in like Peacock? Do you see it streaming in, I don't see it
It
on
depends who's
Disney.
the owner. It definitely not Peacock. It depends on distribution. It's WB.
Yeah,
It's WB. Gizmo is making an appearance today on the podcast. He wants to be heard loud
clearly.
and clear. Gizmo.
Oh my
So,
god.
welcome to Mercury Retrograde. I knew it. I
You
knew Amazon was gonna fuck with
you
us.
know, I'm going into this Mercury retrograde like hoping for the best but
Yeah.
expecting the worst. But also, when you the minute that you think of Mercury retrograde, it's like people always expect it to be bad. There have been times where Mercury has been retrograding and it's actually been for the good.
Yes.
So,
Talk about that because when you prepare yourself, I've been sending you videos. I don't know if you've been watching them, but I think
I
also
have
when you prepare yourself and you know what to expect and learn how to navigate through certain things and just like everyday life, everyday situations and stuff. I mean, you don't have to be so scared of Mercury retrograde. But anyways, Gizmo has calmed down. But yeah, Barbie was pretty cool. Definitely not. I think that movie should have been rated like PG. I don't want to say PG-13, but like parental guidance, I guess. PG. Is it PG?
well,
Because the innuendos in that movie are definitely not kid friendly. Like beach
yeah,
off,
they're
beach
not.
me off. Like I'm like, oh, okay, beach you off, beach off. Like things like that. It's very like you said, very with a message, very current, very like what's going on.
Mhm.
Even Ken's story um was interested to see and follow. Um,
Yeah.
I liked it. I did not know what to expect. Even when the movie came out, even when we knew there was a Barbie thing, even when the trailer came out and all the marketing tactics with the I'm Barbie and everyone doing it, including myself, we still didn't know the plot and what this movie was really about until you really
Yeah.
went to see it. And it's like it's not bad. It's not bad. It wasn't bad. I was expecting worse, but it wasn't bad. So I mean, I'm sure some people don't want to run out and see Barbie. You can wait for it on demand. I think you won't be seeing it on demand or streaming anywhere to like fall. But yeah, I mean, wait, knock yourself off. But knock yourself beach off. But that was cool. And then Sunday night, um, I get an email or a DM about being on. This is the surprise. This is something cool that happened. I'm very quick. Being on. If anyone doesn't know, Teresa Giudice from the Real Housewives of New Jersey, the OG herself, one of the OGs period in the franchise still standing. She has a podcast called Namaste Bitches with Melissa Feaster and her beautiful co-host, and they basically had me on. I reached out to them and they was like, yeah, as you said, they fell in love with me, I guess, through the DMs, and even Melissa said it
Yeah.
through DMs, and it was amazing. Like I was honest and open with them about following them. They've been doing their podcast for a whole year, which is great. I've not missed one episode, and it was so quick. It was like, let's tape this Monday. Listen, I left work early Monday. I skipped the gym Monday. I was not passing up this.
Sacrifice.
Exactly. I was not passing up this opportunity. The their podcast dropped today. They usually release their episodes every Wednesday as well. So what a coincidence. The Inner Circle podcast, we do our show every Wednesday. We've been going on 4 years coming up next year, and they do their drop their podcast every Wednesday as well. So and yeah, it dropped today. So go check it out. Namaste Bitches. We'll be posting it on our Circle page, all that. They have a YouTube. They're streaming on Spotify, Apple. Check my little segment out. It was. What did you think? I mean, you heard it. So what did you think?
So I heard it at work and I was like very happy for you. I almost got emotional because I know how excited you were for this opportunity, and also like for you to be able to like have this conversation with Teresa and bond over
Mm-hmm.
like your mom's is it was very sweet and very touching. And I love the fact you obviously we are both big Housewives fans, but I think you were able to like express yourself in a way where it wasn't like coming off as a fanatic or
Mm-hmm.
coming off as if you were just trying to like sponsor or not sponsor, but like advertise our podcast,
Yes. Yes.
which there's nothing wrong with that
There's nothing
because
wrong
they
with that.
brought it up anyway and they were intrigued by the fact that we have a podcast. However, I do love the conversation and that question that you asked Melissa about how does she deal with the haters, being
Mhm.
that she's so close with Teresa. That was a good question. So I'm very proud of you.
You're welcome. No,
Good
I, I
job.
mean, I mean, absolutely. Like she's not in the housewife. She's not a housewife, Melissa, and she's just Teresa's co-host. But we know, you know,
Hmm.
Teresa has a lot of great fans, but she also has haters, a lot of haters. So
Yeah.
and doing the show with Melissa, I'm sure Melissa gets a lot when they do the show. People attack them both. So it was interesting. Like I definitely wanted to find out and see
I
how
think
she
it's cool
navigates
though. I did they just start doing that where they started like
that.
having their like fans come on and talk
It
and
was
ask
the
questions?
first episode. So I was one of it was three of us that was on the
Oh,
show. So I'm part of that first crop of people that went on the first time they've been wanting to do it for a while. And I was one of the first people to do it. So it's exciting on
that's
so many
awesome.
levels. Behind the scene, Teresa's funny. Like we was in the green room. Obviously we taped a podcast that dropped today. So, I got to see some little behind the scenes stuff. Teresa's funny. Like I'm literally in the green room laughing because I'm like, Teresa, like
Yeah.
Teresa, and I'll tell you more, but it's just, some little bloopers behind the scenes stuff that was cute and funny. I was definitely laughing. Teresa is definitely what you see on TV, it's kind of, you get that in real
We
life.
know we've met her.
Exactly. I
And
brought that up. I brought that up to her.
and we're gonna see her in like
More
next week,
announcements
no?
next Wednesday, 1 week from today. Special announcement right now. You're getting a podcast. We're actually doing our podcast next Tuesday, a day early, because listen, our life is plentiful this year. Me and Melanie's life. We are living life. Next Wednesday, we are covering um their baseball game that they have had
Yeah.
every year. I went last year. I'm so grateful you get to go this year. And us both go and have a little slumber party
Finally.
too. So we're doing that next Wednesday is the baseball game, getting exclusive juicy deets before it even airs. It's gonna be taped obviously for the new season of Real Housewives of New Jersey. Dolores's yearly charity game. So definitely not only are we supporting a
At
charity,
Mamo Needs
yeah,
Hospital.
and the game is at Coney Island, in Coney Island in Brooklyn. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited
Whew,
for you to
I
do
haven't
it.
been around there in years.
Yeah, yeah. So we're doing that next Wednesday. So episode, we it's not often we change our dates, but special episode of the Inner Circle podcast next Tuesday because we'll be live and in charge in Brooklyn with our housewives. I wonder what calendar, if they have another calendar.
I wonder what
But,
I'm gonna wear.
no, good question. I haven't thought of that because we are so busy trying to
Yeah,
shop. Should
planning
we
for
announce?
other events.
Hey,
We
can
can
we
announce it.
announce? You announced this.
Okay.
So many.
So you know what? We wanted to end this year with a bang, and the bang was supposed to be going to see Madonna in concert. However, shit happens, and she had to reschedule. So what we're doing instead is we're going to see Beyonce in
No,
her
you know what?
Renaissance World Tour in Arlington, Texas.
That basically Dallas, Texas. You know, Arlington's
Yeah.
a little. So we're going to Dallas, baby. I've been to Dallas before, but again, I'm so excited. Your first time in
Hmm.
Texas, baby. And we're there for a
Woo!
few days. We're gonna go
Yeehaw.
see Beyonce. We're putting our cow boots on. It's going to be a time. September
Yeah.
21st. We'll be in Dallas,
So
baby.
my cousin just sent me a text and she said, I feel like Love Island. She said Beyonce made an announcement on her stories today, and she said, Virgo season is upon us. This tour has been a joy, and as we approach the last month, my birthday wish is to celebrate with you guys wearing your most fabulous silver fashions to the shows from today, the 23rd, to the 22nd of September. And we're going September
21st.
21st.
Yes. And honey, Beyonce will be silvery, will be sparkling. We're shopping for our outfits already. You know,
We
that's been
sure
our thing
are.
today. We are shopping for our outfits. We even have like friends and everyone like putting in their
I
stuff
had a
coming to us.
poll. I made a poll. Yeah. We'll see.
But it's exciting. Fucking Beyonce. And we couldn't miss this. Listen, I'm not I like Beyonce. She's talented. I've always liked her.
I love
Music.
Beyonce.
I love Beyonce, but you know, I'm not a crazy, I'm not crazy fanatic. You know, my girls, Britney Spears, and my guys, Bad Bunny. But I'm excited for this
Hmm.
tour because the Renaissance tour, I've been watching the YouTube videos since we don't have fucking visuals for the album. And the tour is amazing. It's a production. And I'm sorry, I didn't want to have FOMO. Seeing everyone post, you know, people I know all over social media posting, and either they went to Virginia or New Massachusetts or New Jersey or Atlanta, all these people you
Atlanta,
know.
yeah.
And it's like shit. Like, no, I want to go. So we made it happen. We made it happen and we are going. We officially got our tickets. We officially got
Right.
this
We
morning.
officially got them this morning. I woke up and the first thing I did was hop on the good foot and get on
She
Ticketmaster.
sure did. I was like out of it this morning and she texted me like, hey, I want to buy the tickets. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like,
Go ahead.
sure, go ahead.
No, but my reasoning for wanting to go, besides the fact that I love Beyonce, and yes, I did see a lot of like TikTok videos where people were having a blast. For me though, the Renaissance album was like when it came out that summer, that was fucking
Last
amazing.
summer, it was a year mark last week because I seen her
Because
say
that was like it wasn't this year, it was last year, right?
it came out last year, a week ago. Yeah,
Last summer.
yeah, it's
So
been a
when
year.
that album came out, that's when it was the emancipation of Melanie,
Oh, it was,
moving
yeah.
and getting my whole life together and stuff. Not that my life has never been together, but you know what I
I
mean.
know what you mean.
And also the songs are just fucking amazing. I can't
That's a
wait.
good album. The Renaissance, and she performs basically that whole album. Oh, just the clips.
Yeah.
If y'all haven't seen it, go on YouTube. Like, and YouTube, you know, videos never really do it full justice. Like, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
we can't wait. We're so excited. I'm so excited. Texas, you're going to Texas. We're gonna be there.
I want to wear cowboy boots.
We're gonna be there a few days. It's fucking exciting. A lot of good things happening. We're doing a lot of things, and we are excited. But so last week on Wednesday, changing some gears. Again, if you haven't, go check out Namaste Bitches. I was on it. Teresa Judice's podcast with a beautiful host, Melissa Feaster. Amazing show. Go check it out. But let's switch some gears. Last Wednesday, exactly when we were doing this show, we didn't talk about it, but last week, exactly a week ago, it was announced that Britney Spears and Sam Asrahi are getting a divorce.
Mm.
I know you're elated because you never really liked them. There's been
Hallelujah,
so much
rejoice.
reports coming out. Um, a lot of reports. He filed for divorce, but then I feel like it's like those late, like the early days when like she was free and the reports and the news and everything was so against her, and I'm feeling like that's going on again, like painting her in a negative light, that she was abusive towards Sam, that
She
she
probably
keeps
was.
knives around, um, a lot of things. That she supposedly cheated on Sam, and that's why he's filing for divorce. Um,
I don't believe that part.
that she cheated.
Who is she gonna cheat with? A house staff? A
That's
dog
what I heard.
groomer?
Yeah, that's what they said. It was a house staff, a house member staff.
I don't understand why she would. I mean, I don't believe that. I don't think she would do that, but at the end of the day, you don't know people.
Yeah.
I personally feel that Sam has no reason to be around Brittany anymore. He has gotten what he needed out of the whole marriage. She's clearly not going to give him another kid, and at the end of the day, he wanted. I personally feel that he wanted to have exposure and be on a pedestal and like have some notoriety,
Mhm.
since he wasn't literally a nobody when he met her.
Well,
And
he was
now
he was in the business trying to do. He
he
was in
was
some videos
up and
prior
coming,
already. A model. Yeah.
He wasn't in Brittany's caliber or stature,
No, no, absolutely not. But he was trying
or
to come
in her
up and
stature.
coming.
I just personally feel that that was just lust at first, and I think that they got. I think he
We've been
saw
like
it
6 years,
probably,
a total of 6 years together.
but he also saw it. That doesn't mean anything. People can be together for years and not really care for each other or want to be together. I think also he put in the work because he knew that if he would have bowed out earlier, he would look like the bad guy. I just find it weird that now that she's emancipated and now that she's doing these videos and all this stuff, all of a sudden she's the one that's the issue and he's divorcing her because she did XYZ. I think it's, I don't know. I feel he probably changed. Who knows? But Brittany needs to focus on herself, not be in a relationship. Because if you notice, every catastrophe that has happened in her life, she's always in a relationship. Like, girl, focus on yourself.
Hmm. Yeah, I do think like she does need that time alone, but it does scare me because I feel like I don't know. It's weird because with Sagittarius, like I feel, especially girl Sagittarius, they love love, but at the same time, Sagittarius are known to want to be free. As we know, Sagittarius, when you look at the sign of a Sagittarius, it's half man, half horse. And what we know about horses is, horses like to be free. Horses just, they run and like to be wild and free. Um, so it's weird for me that like she, like you said, a lot of her issues are revolve usually around men or her acting out after a breakup with a man.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's like I know the freedom that Sagittarius crave as well. So it's a little weird to me. As far as Sam, when it comes to him as a Pisces and all that stuff, listen, Sag don't like being controlled, and I feel like maybe Sam, in a sense, did want to control her. Maybe he wasn't too hip with maybe some of the videos she posted out there, like with basically, the little thong she be wearing, her ass out. So, like, I'm sure he felt away, and she did not like it. She did not like being told what to do because she's been already told what to do for the last 12 to 13 years. So that's
Yeah.
a trigger. And I
But
read some.
also, if you're my husband and no, if I'm your wife and I'm over here scantily clad making all these videos of me jumping on a fucking, what do you call it, a stripper pole and all this stuff with my panties mad small, so small to the point where they're sagging and stuff, I don't think that that's a good look. And I know a lot about Middle Eastern background. Him being Middle Eastern, he's and his family and stuff, I'm pretty sure that they see that and they're probably not too keen on that.
Mm,
Not only that, but he married outside of his culture. So that's like multiple like red flags. So I don't know. I feel like Britney, like I said this before, I love Britney Spears. Let me preface with that. I love Britney Spears, but for my personal mental sanity, I had to unfollow because I don't want to see those videos like that. I want to keep the mind or keep the vision of me loving Britney the way that I remember Britney. I don't think she's at her best right now. And her posting that, I guess it's her way of liberation, and that's great. But also, at what cost are you doing that? You're alienating your husband now. Now you guys are divorcing or whatever. I'm pretty sure that there's some accountability that she needs to take. And I don't think there's one thing I remember that Lisa Marie Presley said in an interview. People that are like Michael Jackson, Britney Spears, Whitney Houston, all those people that are like legends and people praise them and like bow down to them and do whatever they say, they see other people as replaceable. If this person can do something for me, then another person can do it. Even with spouses. So they expect their spouse to like fully be like on board with everything that they do and not question them or try to control them. So I'm pretty sure Britney feels like if Sam doesn't like what I'm doing, then I'm just gonna go do my own thing or find someone else that's gonna be cool with it. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I do still think that he probably sucked the juice as much as he could, squeezed the juice as much as he could, and like.
Well, remember, they also had a prenup, so it's not, they had.
But he's getting a lot from the prenup. As much as people say like he's not getting spousal, he doesn't need that. He comes from money. He doesn't need that.
Well, no, he doesn't come from money. He's an immigrant over here, and like,
And you don't think his family in his country has money?
From he's his Persian. Story and his dad leaving and stuff, unless the mom is rich or something, but I don't know.
The mom, no, they have money. They have money.
How do you know? Like, what do they do?
They're his sisters. I know that they have some sort of like professions. I'm pretty sure that his family has money. I'll look that up just so I can be correct or state my case. But I'm pretty sure he's getting a lot. He's getting all the gifts that she's ever given him. Pretty sure that they're expensive as gifts.
He gets to keep the cars. He gets to keep the cars. They split their dogs and whatever the prenup basically said. So, we don't know what the prenup exactly said, but, maybe he will get, like you said, the gifts and maybe a certain amount of money. I hear that she's willing to pay him a certain amount of money just to shut his mouth. Although there's an NDA, although he signed NDAs as well, like, he can't go out there and trash her either, but we'll see how it all plays out. The announcement was dropped last Wednesday. Crazy what last Wednesday was. I'm telling you, it is season. All these retrogrades, there's 7 planets in retrograde going on right now. So it's insane. 7 fucking planets. A lot of breakups. A lot going on. Which we're gonna get into. Speaking of breakups and a lot of people breaking up and stuff, we're gonna get into. I want you guys to stay tuned for this. 5 relationship flags you should never ignore. We're definitely gonna get into that because listen, cuffing season's coming up. So all these retrogrades and breakups may be going on, but cuffing season is coming up. And we know how people want to have that person to take to Thanksgiving dinner for the Christmas show the girl or the boy for Christmas around. Mm. So we'll get into that in a few. But have you heard real quick about the rumored halftime performance? I don't know if to believe this, especially if Jay-Z is now one of the NFL little halftime producers. Did you hear about this? No.
Wow.
Supposedly, rumor has it that the halftime performance this year, rumor has it, allegedly, Miley Cyrus and Harry Styles are going to be doing the halftime show this year for football.
Harry Styles don't even know what football is. Isn't he British?
I mean,
American football.
Yeah, American football. I'm sure he knows soccer football. I don't know. But
football,
yeah, what do you think?
For them, football.
Football for them is soccer, kicking the ball.
Harry Styles has like 3 good songs that people know. Everything else is like the One Direction catalog. So what is he gonna bring One Direction up to the stage? I could see Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus has a good discography, whatever you call it. Yeah, but Harry, really?
Oh, he's on his third album, no? Yeah, he's on his third album, no?
I don't know. I mean, I liked. Oh well, yeah, he probably is, but I like As It Was, Watermelon Sugar,
Yeah.
and that's it. But
Lights
or
Up,
Golden.
Golden. He has a few.
Okay, I guess he got a few cute bops, but like him, that's weird.
You believe
Why can't they
exactly?
have? I don't understand. Why can't they have like someone? Why can't they do something old school? If you think about the target demographic of football, you don't think of like people watching it like I don't know. I don't think that people watching it are bopping to Miley Cyrus flowers. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. That's interesting. That's gonna be a
Yeah.
snooze fest.
But listen, I my first initial was like, isn't Jay Z one of the producers of of the halftime show? One, but then I thought to myself, listen, Jay Z can't have like every year urban acts or ethnic acts. But I mean, is ethnic correct to use? You know what I mean? Like R&B, hip hop. It can't always be that, even if he's a producer. So I could believe where it was kind of a switch up this year, seeing how the last few years has been like urban. Urban's the better word, not urban. So, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
He has like, doesn't he have people in Rock Nation that can do it? I don't get it.
I don't know. We'll
I
see.
I really don't.
We'll stay tuned and
You know
see
what
if
they
some
should
of our
do? What they should do instead is have a medley of like Latin artists. Do something for Puerto Rico for
But
once.
they did that a few years ago. Jennifer Lopez and Shakira. I think. I mean, I know to you, I
That is
get it. I get it. But to
commercialized.
them, I know. But to them, that's like okay, we did it for the Latinos.
They should do like you know who should do even though she's Canadian, fuck. Nelly Furtado and then bring out you don't like Nelly Furtado?
For halftime, and she hasn't been like
She has a new
done
song.
anything big.
Relax. Yes, she
Okay, she has a
does.
new song, but is it huge? Has it? Is it number one? Is it
It's
taking off
big.
the
It was
stage?
big. It was big in Lollapalooza. She did a song with the a DJ produced Dom Dollar. So I don't know. I'm going down my Spotify right now, just trying to see like who would I want to see in the NFL right now, or even do like a rock medley, but like Miley Cyrus, she's gonna be twerking on stage, fucking singing "We Can't Stop" or whatever the song goes.
We
That
can.
is crazy to me.
I don't know, but it's a rumor. It's not set in stone, so we'll see what happens
Bring
there.
out Little Wayne. How about that? Do a Young
But
Money like medley
like them all perform. But that's the thing.
with
Every
Nicki
year,
Minaj.
yeah. But that's the thing. Every year, it can't just because Jay Z is like one of the producers. It can't be
But it
urban every
hasn't
year.
been urban every year though. It was just urban that one
Rihanna,
time with the okay.
Rihanna this year. The year before wasn't it Dr.
The Dr.
Dre,
Dre and
Snoop
stuff. And then the
Dogg,
year
and all
before
that?
that. Yeah, and then it was J
Wasn't
Lo and
it Jennifer
Shakira.
Lopez? Yeah. I don't
That's
know.
not I mean, what other music is there? You can't you have to also understand artists are old as fuck now. They don't want to be performing. You know what? Let's settle this by saying me, this is what I would want. After watching their Tiny Desk performance, I would want Juvenile and Manny Fresh and Birdman to be on the stage. That's it. And everyone sing back that ass up.
God. At this point, just put Usher up there. There we go.
Usher's not gonna do it though because he's in his residency.
Hey, more exposure, promotion. I don't know, but he would be someone good.
Do
I mean, I would say Chris Brown, but shit, he can't even make the AMAs. He's definitely not going to
poor Chris
do
Brown.
yeah. But anywho,
Oh, that Backstreet Boys in sync.
you know, that would be epic in a whole different. Yeah, that would be epic.
Which brings me to my next point. Did you hear about the Trolls movie coming out and
And it's
NSYNC collaborating? I love how everyone is saying NSYNC is getting back with Justin Timberlake. No, and Justin Timberlake wasn't in sync. What the fuck are people saying? Like,
because he was the standout person. He was the one that went on to have a big career. JC Chazez, which I bought his album Schizophrenic, tried.
schizophrenic,
It was a
uh-huh.
good album too. But well, there was a handful of
There's a
songs
lot of
I
good
really liked.
songs. Turn my world around. That was my song.
No, I'm like, come to me. Come, and it sampled.
I need to listen to
Yeah.
it.
No, there was a few songs that I like on that thing, but Speaking of fast, speaking of back in the day, speaking of NSYNC, speaking of Backstreet Boys going way, way back, let's play a game. Throughout generations, throughout decades, there's many fads. And us being millennials, we've been through them, we've seen a lot, and I'm sure we'll see much, much more. But we're gonna take it back, and we want you guys at home to play with us if you're listening or watching. With this little game called Were You Into It? So we're gonna go down a list of things that were popular, whether it's TV shows, whether it was games, whether it was a song or fashion, whatever, and we're gonna basically talk and say if we were into it. If you're at home, you can play along, comment. Here we go. Were you into it? The gigapets and nanos. I'm sure there's a Gen Z person listening, like, what's a gigapet nano? I should have put pictures up for those that don't get it. Like, what's that?
Yeah, you should have. I had a nano pet.
I had an outfit. I was into it. And it would wake me up in the middle of the night. I was like in middle school and that shit will beat. And it will wake me up and it had like all the group poops. So you have to clean the poop. It was literally like having a pet or a kid.
It gave you responsibility.
It's so funny. Were you into it? Furbies. That was big fan.
Yes, my mom used to collect Furbies, and remember there was a point where you would get a Happy Meal and it would come with a Furby. My mom would put them on the windowsill, in front of our like kitchen window. So it was like a whole collection of Furbies.
No, I was never into it. Never got into it. They kind of scared me. I don't know. And then they had the ones that like their eyes kind of thing and they talk.
They twitched, yeah.
But speaking of Furbies, were you into it? Trolls. And speaking of the troll movie, the Trolls.
I wasn't into the Trolls because I didn't like their hair. It gave me a complex. I thought that my brother would call me a troll whenever my hair looked disheveled, like when I would wake up in the morning. So, no.
I was into it. I was actually into Trolls. And I remember I would play in the water in the bathtub with it and dip its hair.
Those are ugly.
Yeah, I used to play with Trolls. I was definitely into it. Were you into it? Polly Pocket.
I was not, because I was afraid I was going to lose it. But no, I wasn't into it.
Unfortunately, I was low-key wanted to be into it, but that was a girl's thing. And I was way younger in Puerto Rico. So my cousins will have it, and I would maybe sneak and play with it. But never really, I was into it, but I couldn't get into it. Polly Pocket.
I remember the song. No, they get Polly. Some shit like that.
Well, remember, I was in Puerto Rico, so they played a whole different commercial.
Oh, yeah. You guys had the Espanol.
And, were you into it? Bop it. That bop it. It's like kind of
Hell yeah. I had to bop it. Pull it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Twist it. I had to bop it.
I was more of a Simon Says. The Simon one. Yeah. I didn't really get into
I had Bop It, and the one toy that I fucking loved that I couldn't find, that I didn't add there, the Saxoboom. That was my shit. Real ones know what a Saxoboom is.
I don't know. Were you into it? Grunge music.
Absolutely, I still am. There's a little drizzle in the sky and it's cloudy and it's cold outside. I am grunge as fuck. Like, all I listen to is grunge music. Put on some Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots, Pearl Jam. That's my jam.
Were you into it? Beverly Hills 90210, the original one from the 90s.
Nah. I know you liked it, and I know we talked about it before, but I never really cared for that show.
I have some white girl in me.
I feel bad, but did you see what happened to all the people in the end of that show? Like, their lives now. Tori Spelling lives in a fucking trailer park.
Shannon Doherty, no money.
He died.
Yeah, Aaron Spelling died years ago and left everything to Candy Spelling and nothing to his daughter.
Who's Candy Spelling?
His wife.
Isn't that her mom?
Yeah, her mom. Oh, trust me, there was drama there years ago, and there's drama. Oh yeah.
Oh,
anyway, that's another episode. Were you into it? Jerry Springer.
Jerry. No, I never stayed home to watch that. I liked Maury. You are not the father.
Listen, I was into Jerry Springer, although I shouldn't have been watching Jerry Springer because my mom loved Jerry Springer, so I would like, be in the background, kind of like watching it type of shit. But I
Mm-mm.
was into it for a little bit, although I found it very ratchet and crazy.
It was
But
very ratchet. I
yeah,
think
I
they
was into it a little bit.
they took advantage of like people
People, yeah,
from low income and like
yeah,
urban
absolutely, yeah,
people.
yeah, they sure did.
Yeah, I prefer Christina.
Were you, Christina Savalehi? Were you into it? The waif look. Did I say it right? The waif.
Yeah, the waif look, aka Kate Moss, and all the models in the '90s where they were skinny, real thin. Twiggy, the supermodel
Oh, I
Twiggy,
love
brought in that look from the British invasion, where they had all the skinny freaking bodies and like were very short models. No, I like the supermodel era where they had Naomi, Christy, who else?
Tyra.
All the Tyra. Tyra wasn't supermodel like then. All the bitches that were in the George Michael video,
Yeah. Oh,
Freedom.
Madonna early video.
Yes,
Yeah. No, I wasn't into the wave look, I guess, either. A
heroin
few
chic.
more. Were you into it? Hip hop fashions. And when I say hip hop fashions, let's go specifically to FUBU.
I
I wore
really liked.
FUBU from middle school.
I didn't. My dad wore FUBU. I thought I was cool because my dad was wearing FUBU, but I really liked the. I yeah. I also like Tommy Hilfiger.
With Tommy, although I wear Tommy Hilfiger now, back then I didn't.
I did, and
And another
and I
reason
wore
why is
Tommy
because
Girl.
they always used to say, which I think is, I don't know how this like started, but like supposedly that he was racist and that he was on Oprah and said that he doesn't want certain people wearing his clothes. And like a lot of people would say that, and I'm like, huh? Like I don't know where that came from,
Well,
but I used to hear that a lot.
I heard that, but that's not true. I think it was. Well, I take that back. I think he did not care to have artists put on his clothes. He wanted it to be for a certain clientele, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, we
But
yeah.
his brother was his marketing partner, and he was like, "Let me market this to artists that are right now hot." And everyone that was hot was in hip hop and R&B. So that's why he would have Aaliyah, Jay-Z,
And
and
then it
all
even
those.
went pop because Britney Spears, when she started, did a little campaign
Yeah.
with him too.
But I did love Tommy Girl, and I still remember the commercial and the song. It was so cute.
Last one for our, you know, people that remember the chat rooms. Were you into it? Chat rooms, especially for example, AOL chat rooms.
AOL chat rooms. I was so nervous to be on those. What is it that you would put? You would put age, sex, and location.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god. You saying
Oh
that
my
just like give me a
god.
visual like
A
it took me back.
ASL. Yeah. Um I remember the squeaky little door sound whenever you would have like a
Yeah. Where you
friend.
comes in. Oh my
Yeah, when you
god.
go into the chat room or like when you had a friend and they like were on their AOL. Oh my god, that those were the days. Those were the
Yeah.
nostalgic. Yeah. Now it's all on Instagram. It
Well,
goes
listen.
down in the DM.
Um, that was fun. Were you into it? Now let's get into. We told you guys. Five relationship. We was talking about this. I mean, summer is basically almost over. Hello, the last 2 days. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. But these mornings have been
Mm,
giving tea. Not fully
life.
fall season vibes, but just like a tea, a tinsy tea of like fall vibes. And I'm here for it, especially in the mornings here in New York. The weather has been perfection the last 2 days. Um,
Yeah.
but cuffing season is upon us. Fall is we have like one more month basically of summer left. The first day of fall is September 23rd. The day, yeah, we're still in Texas that day, but September 23rd is the first day of fall. So we basically have a month. And with that comes cuffing season. Hey, we've had a lot of breakups, hella breakups, like
Yeah.
all over. But there's something about the cold and the holidays that have people trying to find someone for the holidays. So, so you don't fall dumb into that trick, or people who are trying to pretend that they're trying to date and be serious. Here are five relationship flags you should never ignore. But this is serious. This is some serious shit. I've been into a lot of learning and watching certain gurus and stuff. So I wanted to share this. Number one, here we go. Number one, five relationship flags you should never ignore. One, talks bad about other people. If you hear that, oh, well, this person did this to me, that person did this to me, and I'm the way I am because this person did that, and so on, and always pointing fingers, that's bad. Because one, and I will never forget this, years ago, I was younger. I remember talking about an ex, and
Yeah.
that person who I ended up getting into a relationship with told me straight up, like, I didn't like the fact that you spoke about an ex our first date. And ever
Mm.
since,
Taboo.
I was early
Taboo.
in my I was like 20. I was in my early 20s, 21, 22. So live and learn. I noted, and I'm like, okay, on a first date with someone new, never talk about it. But
Yeah.
that's just an example. But like when you're pointing fingers and like, especially if you start dating and everything, so well, that person, I am the way I am because this, that, and those people, not good. It's not good because the way I look at it and the journey I am, things happen, but I'm introspective about it. I also think about the things I've done. And I'm not going to sit there. If I'm going to talk about experiences, I'm also going to put on display to the person, like, but I did this, or I learned this from this. This happened, but I learned this. Instead of like playing victim of, oh, I am this way, etc., because of
Mm.
other people. What do you think about that one? I'm number one.
I completely agree. I have been in situations and dated people where they blame everyone. They don't look internally inside and they blame everyone else for the reason as to why they are how they are. And I think that it takes a big person and a lot of self-reflection and self-development
And
for
growth.
you to realize your and growth, for you to realize your faults and why you act the way that you act and why you react to things. Your response is your responsibility. And there have been, I was in a situation where I really liked the guy, really liked him. However, all he did, besides being pessimistic, all he did was talk badly about his ex-wife, his the mother of his children, and almost hinted that he regretted having children. If you have those strong thoughts with someone you just met and you're like basically divulging all this information right off the get-go, God knows what's going to happen whenever we go through a rough patch, you know? And that's just one instance. You have to also sit there and actually listen to people and what they say, because a lot of people will tell you things and sometimes you won't pay attention to it, or you'll be like, oh, I don't like that he said that, but whatever, carry on, let me still get to know him. But then it comes back to bite you in the ass. So just pay attention.
All right, number two, five relationship flags you should never ignore. People who are afraid to give you the truth. So when I say this,
Mm,
not answering your questions directly. Or- And this could be because they're afraid of judgment. They're afraid to really talk about what they really do occupation wise, etc. Maybe there's trust issues there.
run
Opening up.
around.
But be aware when, getting close with someone like that. Listen, privacy is okay. Privacy is okay. There's some people who are private and don't want to put it all out there or be all out there. But being a little private and then, you know, being direct and to give the truth and being out there, you have to be careful with that. What's your thoughts on this? On number two.
I'm a very direct person, so I also have come from like the mindset where you can ask me a million questions and I will answer as many as I feel like answering. I don't I would never ask someone a question that I wouldn't be able to answer myself, you know. And sometimes I do believe ignorance is bliss, because the less you know the better you're off. However, if there is something that you absolutely need to know because it will make you sleep better at night, ask that question. If you're talking to someone and you feel that they're hesitant in telling you things like little key things about
Mm-hmm.
themselves in life, what makes you think that your mindset is going to be at ease later on when you guys get serious? It's not good, and that's part of bad communication.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. Not telling you the whole truth or the
White
half truth,
lies.
white lies
White.
or half truths, where they give you just a little bit, but not fully the scope. So they feel because they
Mm,
mentioned somewhat of a partial truth that
mm.
they don't feel like they truly lied or are admitting things. But it's like no, yeah,
That's not a
something
way to
could have
live,
been harsher.
honey.
Now, number three, five relationship flags you should never ignore. Number three, tendency of trying to change you. And when I say tendency of trying to change you, just an example, like let's say you go out on a date and they're like, why do you chew like that? Or why do you talk like that? Why do you use those certain words? Why are you so loud? Or things in that nature. It may seem like a joke because sometimes those things do come off as jokes, or the person saying it is trying to be jokey about it. But beware of that because it starts as jokes, ha ha ha. But once you get serious and progress, it could be a tumbleweed of like a bad experience.
Hmm.
So beware of, especially at the beginning, of someone who's trying to change you, even if they're in a joking matter, like, oh, why do you talk like that? Or why do you always hang out with your friends so much? Things like that. Beware of those situations. What do you think?
I wish someone would. Listen, at the end of the day, if you're committed to someone, you're supposed to love them unconditionally. And you loving someone or being with someone with conditions is not the way to go. However, a lot of people, and I've noticed this in the dating world, date people knowing that they don't like certain attributes about the person or certain things that the person does, and they still go along with
I,
it
yeah,
because they're
I'm
trying
guilty of
to
that.
like hold on to the positive instead of like coming back and putting the negative parts on pause. You shouldn't do that. If you put your pros and cons list and you see that there's more cons than pros, then why even entertain that person? I'd rather not. I'd rather move on with my life, and hopefully you find someone for you too, because there's a pot for every lid.
Of course, yeah. Number four, small talk. Small talk. I don't know. I don't know how much more to elaborate on this part, but
Hmm.
be careful with small talkers. Like, what do you think about this? Go ahead. Go ahead. I feel like you have a lot to say and
I
elaborate.
have a lot to say because I experienced this. I dated someone and wasted, I want to say, almost 2 years of my life being in a relationship with a person that was just small talk. And if you don't have the communication where it flows, you guys don't even have the love language where you can carry a conversation and enlighten each other. Can I have a conversation about whatever? And see, because that stimulates my mind and that stimulates me as a person to have a conversation with someone and have the same characteristics or have things in common.
Mhm.
If you can't even carry a conversation and all it is just small conversations and they don't want to talk too much, or this is another thing, this piggybacks with small talk. If you date someone that constantly tells you you ask too many questions,
You
that
mean
is a
trying to change
problem.
you? It piggyback from trying to change you.
It well, trying to change you, but also with small talk because they want to keep the small talk going. That's a
Mhm,
manipulation
mhm.
move.
Yeah.
They don't want you asking a lot of questions because at the end of the day they feel like you're invading their privacy when
Mhm.
it shouldn't be that way. I
Exactly.
hate
Especially if
small
you're trying
talk.
to date or be with someone, how would you
Hmm.
consider that invading your privacy? No, I'm trying to get to know you. Aren't we trying to establish something? But again, this is why it's a flag to not ignore because those people are not that serious to try to be with you long run if they are so worried that you're talking too much or asking too many questions, like you said, and just giving you
Hmm.
small talk. How are you supposed to establish something meaningful if
How do you
that's how
know
it's running?
someone? How do
Exactly.
you know someone well through and through if you can't even have a decent conversation like that? And people like that, like I would literally be embarrassed to bring people around. You know this because it happened to me. To bring someone around that doesn't engage in conversation around a group of intellectuals or other people or friends and family, and all they want to do is like not talk because they're short on words, makes you look ignorant, glib, and boring as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Number five of five relationship flags you should never ignore: misalignment. And when I say misalignment, it could be
Mm,
it could be broken down in so many ways. Misalignment of ethics, um, idea, misalignment of ideas of the world, misalignment
Hmm.
of life purpose. Um, and when it, for example, let's say you want to get married. You're someone who wanted to always get married. You meet a guy, but this person's not doesn't want to get married.
Mm.
That's misalignment right there. That's
Yep.
misalignment right there. Or even like ethics, like you know how to raise your kids or whatever. Like right off the bat, if you're having those conversations and there's a misalignment, don't ignore that. A lot of people are
Exactly.
like you said, oh, maybe I could put it away, sweep it under, or maybe it could change him or whatever.
No.
No, 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 no,
I
no.
know that. I can attest to that because again, when you date and you're in the dating scene, be prepared, Charlie, because this is going to happen many, many times. You're going to meet guys, you're going to meet people that you are interested in getting to know. And then as the conversation flows and as the truths come out, you'll realize some people don't want the same things as you. For instance, I hung out with someone who we get along, we have good banter, but we both don't want the same things long term. Am I going to continue pursuing something with someone that doesn't want the same things and aspirations and have the same alignment as me? No. I would just be doing a disservice to myself. So that's something that people need to like realize. And I unfortunately have done that in the past where I entertained someone knowing that their alignment was not where it should have been.
Mhm.
And you can't force anyone to change their alignment. That has to
Okay.
be someone that has to that has to be done themselves.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely should. But those are 5 relationship flags you should never ignore. And notice, I didn't even say red flags because we're not gonna use the red flags here. We know that's a new popular term. 5 relationship flags, period. You should never ignore. So hopefully that helped you guys. Especially trust me, fall is coming. The bird's coming. And although there's been a lot of breakups, watch and see. Mark my words, mark my pretty little words. Watch and see a lot of people this fall season into the winter season try to find a momentary peace. Don't get
Mm.
fooled. Don't get fooled. Especially if you're
I
someone who's
bet.
serious. Especially if you're serious about dating and what you want for your future. Especially that. If you want to
Well,
just kick it, have
well,
fun or whatever, then by all means entertain their asses and be like, ha ha ha. Yeah, I see right through you. We're just playing around. But if you're serious about your future and like relationship and finding someone, definitely keep close attention to those 5 flags you should never ignore. What were you
I sleep in my bed diagonally. I don't need anyone in my bed who doesn't need to be there. Thank you.
saying? I was gonna add something to that, but I'll leave it at that. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was a fun show. We had so many cool announcements today. Again, I am on Teresa's Judice from Real Housewives of New Jersey. If you don't know who Teresa is and you're living under a rock, I am on her podcast. I just dropped today. Namaste Bitches. Go check it out. It's if you I'm on the listen to the whole thing because I love them. But if you wanna know where I'm at, I'm about the 31-minute mark. So go check it out. It was amazing. Next week we're coming to you a day early because we will be once again chilling with Teresa and them and all of them watching the baseball game. So we'll be covering that for you guys next Wednesday. So we have our episode early, one day early next Tuesday. Anything else we have?
No, that's
We're
it
gonna
for
see
now.
Beyonce, bitches. Like, follow, subscribe, share, follow us, listen to us on where you get your favorite streaming, where you listen to your favorite streaming on your favorite streaming service. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, share, like, subscribe. It goes a long way. It means a lot, and it's free. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you a day early next week at 8 o'clock.